Hello guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. This is the episode 2 of the complete web development bootcamp. This is actually Jimmy's journey, so I hope you guys enjoyed this story. So guys, let's continue our adventure. Jimmy's journey through the internet was an amazing adventure that taught him a lot about how it works. He learned about the wires that connect computers all over the world, the servers that store websites, and the protocols that make it all possible. He also learned about the underwater cables that connect continents and the fiber optic cables that carry data at the speed of light. Previously, we also learned that when you find out that IP address, you can directly hit up the server computer for the website that you want to view, and they send you all the files and data for your browser to be able to render it on screen. Now, the data that you receive from that server usually consists of 3 types of files: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You have likely seen these types of files or words before, as they are very common and essential to the operation of websites. But what are these files for, and why are there so many different types? Well, their jobs are completely unlike each other. Before we start explaining what these files are, let's take a look at how creating a website from scratch compares to house construction. The first step in both website creation and house construction is to create a plan. For a website, this involves developing wireframes and mockups to define the layout and content of the website. For a house, this means drawing up blueprints that outline the structure, layout, materials to be used. Once the plan is in place, construction can begin. For a website, this means creating the basic structure of the website using HTML. So the HTML elements such as headings, paragraphs, images, and links are used to define the content of the layout of the website. For a house, this means laying the foundation and building the framework. Once the foundation and structure are in place, the interior of the house can be designed and styled. This involves choosing the paint colors, flooring, furniture, and other decorative elements. For a website, this is done using CSS. So the CSS rules are used to control the colors, fonts, sizes, and positioning of the HTML elements. The final step in building a house is to install the electrical wiring and plumbing. This makes the house functional and allows people to live in it. For a website, this is where JavaScript comes in. JavaScript is used to add interactivity and dynamic behavior to a website. This allows users to interact with the website in different ways, such as clicking buttons, submitting forms, and watching animations. It turns a static website, which has pretty images or text, into something that a user can actually interact with. For example, posting funny memes on Instagram or chit-chat with your friends on Facebook. It allows your browser to actually do things and become functional, not just something pretty to look at. So if we take the Google homepage as an example, again, once we receive these 3 types of files from the Google server, we can use our browser, which is a piece of software that specializes in dealing with these files. So when the browser loads up the HTML, we'll get to see the content of the website. So in this case, there is one image which has Google logo, there is 2 buttons, and there is a text box where you can enter our search term. Now, when the browser then loads up the CSS files, then it will modify the appearance of those components. So we don't get any extra buttons or images or anything with CSS, but it will now look exactly the way Google wanted to, the shape of that text box or the color of the buttons. And finally, using the JavaScript file, the browser gives us the functionality of this website. So we can type in search term like do a barrel roll, and by the way, you should really try this in Google, because when you hit the search button, what it will actually do is make the search results page do a 360-degree spin. So with all these 3 different files, we can get the content, we can get the styling, and finally we get the functionality of the website. And combined together is how we create a modern website. Now, with all of this knowledge that we have already acquired, we can already start messing around with a real website on the internet. So if you open up your browser and head over to google.com, you can right click on the button, which is a Google search, and click on inspect. Now what this does, it brings up the Chrome developer tools. So you can see that Chrome developer tools has automatically highlighted the part of the code that's responsible for that button. And if we double click on it, then we can actually edit this title for it to say I'm a developer. Unfortunately, when I hit refresh on this website, you will see that everything gets restored to the original version of the website. And the reason for this is because when we hit refresh, we are asking Google servers to deliver as the HTML, CSS and JavaScript files once again, so that we can render the website on our browser. But when we edit our website in the Chrome developer tools, effectively what we are changing is our local server, and this doesn't get saved when you hit refresh. But in the coming episode, we are going to working with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, so that you can create and host your own websites live on the internet. And through learning how to code and how to build websites, you are going to be able to make websites that say anything you want it to look, the way that you want it to, and have the functionality that you need. So for all of that and more, I see you in the next episode.